Well, we're going to move on to the knife round and see who can get this. Which side would you want, knowing your experience of playing these two sides? Who would want which side, do you reckon?
I think both teams want the T side. Getting that momentum, kind of deciding the pace of the game, with Virtus kind of going for the fast-paced style and Dignitas kind of slowing things down. And as T, you can kind of decide that. So I think both reckon for T.
Well, you can see that actually it was Dignitas who won and asked to stay on the CT side. So there you have it. But we'll find out for what that's worth. The Dignitas side will not be headed to DreamHack Winter. So this now this is their biggest event of the summer at the moment that they need to be claiming. So for Dignitas, there's a lot riding on this. They're due a big win. They're on the up at this moment in time, and they're due. Well, you could say Dignitas is due a big win. The reality is we're looking for someone to cement themselves as the #1, and at the moment that's just not happening. Everyone's trading results, everyone's trading tournaments, and we, as a result, as spectators and commentators, have very exciting times.
Yeah, you know, you can never know what team, but one point to get out is it's always been a home soil winner in these major tournaments, with Virtus on the Polish side. So I'm hoping for DreamHack to be our destiny once again.
I guess you can bring that back. You can see you and NIP have won the DreamHacks.
Yeah.
ESWC is run by the French.
Yeah,
Copenhagen Games.
That was actually the only tournament that didn't go.
Star Series was won by Navi.
Yeah, and you got EMS won by the Poles. Yeah.
Huh. Well, what do you know? So, with this being online, what does that say? Who's the Italian team?
I don't know. The online, I don't want to point any fingers.
So, after that, we're going to jump straight into the game. It is the pistol round, and the good lucks and have funs have been traded, and FACEIT will be the man who spies early action in the shape of Pasha down at Long A.
Pasha did get some info there. He peeked out, he saw only one player, so they kind of decided to take a push out here, and the rotation came in, so they're now 2 there.
Pasha's lost a lot of health as he tries to get in there, and will then quickly go out. They're going to try and leave those Dignitas players just wondering whether they are still down there, and that leaves 2 Dig players down on Long A. Pushing in towards mid is going to be Neo, and takes a lot of damage as he goes there, but Taz on the other side, you can't see it, is putting the bomb down. Pasha's been picked off, bomb planted on, like they all came through the catwalk to get up there as they occupied everyone in Long A and Spawn. Lovely move there from Virtus.pro, as they now have a 4-man afterplant, but Taz and Neo low health, and Zipnix and Device going about their business in some style. A hat-trick from Zipnix cleans up, and that leaves just Neo to escape for what that's worth. And that'll be a bomb plant and money in the bank for that, as Dignitas do pick up round #1.
That's an interesting round. Virtus kind of faked with that push on long and pushed 3 guys short as the rotation came in to help at long, which left the short totally uncovered. And they got the plant, but Dignitas just instantly made the decision to retake with all 5 members and kind of caught Virtus off guard with pushing that fast.
Zipnix and Device help themselves on that. They'll all go to Zipnix, but Device will have felt, I did a lot of this damage too. As Fetish pushes in, but you can see already from the Virtus playbook that they have a lot to entertain us with.
And I'm not really sure I like this buy from Virtus. Kind of feels like there's a lot of long-range duels, open field on Dust 2. So getting that pistol armor buy is not as viable as one might think. So I'm interested to see if they actually have a plan with this, with buying a few nades. So they must have a strat going on.
Push is coming in from Catwalk as the nades fly in, and Zipnix opens up the firing. Zipnix opens up the killing. Gets 1. Oh, not going to get the second. In the end, it's Taz that downs him, and it'll fall to Device to pick up where his teammate followed. But the flashes were perfect from Virtus.pro. They pushed both players on A back and have allowed them to get in and get the bomb down at worst. And that may be all they will get. But a bomb plant is better than nothing for Virtus.pro. Second round in a row they'll do that, and it means they will buy this next time out. And again, their execution was really good in the entry to A.
Yeah, but being Dignitas having those long-range duel with the rifles kind of makes it very, very difficult for Virtus to actually hold the retake. With actually Dignitas holding both catwalk, long, and spawn. So it kind of got crumbled into the side with that plant. And the retake was pretty simple with everyone pushing from all angles. So we do see an eco on Virtus as Mount out to do something around mid.
Third round in a row, the bomb has been escorted through the catwalk and will make its way in towards A. We're on board with now Fetish, who's scouting out long A. There are still two players in on the site, and we're seeing the wrong action there as Zipnix and Device do collect themselves 3 frags. Neo gets one back onto Zipnix, but Taz is out, and that leaves just Neo and Spawn. And, well, with the exception of that early round, they landed next to no frags, the VP side.
Yeah, but it was actually kind of a cool strat. They go out mid and they go for a split through spawn. They smoke off left side mid and CT spawn, so the guys on A kind of doesn't know it's A push. And they try to fake it, but since it was an eco, they couldn't do much damage with it.
Buy round for Virtus.pro. And time to see whether one of those intriguing plays can be backed up with weapons this time. They've taken over long A and now will go up against Device's AWP, who dispatches of Taz. And they'll now have to make that next push. Dupree is the man down, though, as Dignitas look to hold A from the catwalk. And the bomber is just waiting in long A. And Dignitas have sat 2 people down in the pit down there, waiting to see whether anyone will push out and try to claim that space. Also warded out by that AWP on... Well, it was Dupree who had it. No.
And this is an interesting situation. Dignitas kind of forced to take short, and Virtus is just waiting for them. As Neo picks up the frag, goes for the second.
There's Device who had that at AWP, but he's set it down to get involved in the action. AZ's been picked off, and Zipnix will help himself to the frag of Fetish. Now Device makes his way through to get himself the push. Zipnix down by Bjarli, and Device finds himself 1 on 3 coming from Spawn here, as he's between a rock and a very hard place, reclaims his AWP, and goes through. Interesting push there. They pushed Device down long A. He got the AWP frag, didn't stick around, moved over towards the B site to try and get some action, and potentially catch VP off guard if they were to make a move around towards B, but in the end it didn't play out for them.
Yeah, I like Virtus taking the control of the long. Dignitas made the decision that we cannot challenge this, I'm too blind, you know, we have to back off. They recover short, and Virtus just waiting for all the nades to dissipate from Dignitas and kind of force them to make a push. And the experienced player on Neo just stood there and waited for the frag, and was really well played from Virtus.
Virtus get themselves their first round on the board. And Device will drop for his teammate. Double AWP this time from Dignitas. Dupree and Device both with it. And
they really want this early info on long, it seems like. Now they're faking the long, and Dignitas actually deciding not to take long. There's no men out long, and Dignitas think there is.
Pasha gets himself the frag onto Device. Zipnix and his Famas level the scoreboard back up. And here is that AWP on Dupree with a headshot onto Bjarli. And Dignitas will look on towards that B side. Oh, Dupree misses and is fortunate to get away with his life coming out of the hole there, and doesn't get the second either. It's Neo who'll claim that. Taz helps himself to the frag into AZ, and now the bomb will be moved in towards that B site. It's a 2 on 4, 2 on 3, as counting fails me, as Dignitas will now debate the retake, but it'll be a short-lived argument as they will settle for getting Fetish to claim that AWP and pull it out of there. And that'll be Virtus.pro winning their second in a row and bring the scoreboard up to 3-2 after 5.
That is what's so scary about facing Virtus. They use the same nades as they did as they took long, but this time they didn't push any players out there. And Dignitas made the same decision as last time, as Virtus knew they would. Backing off, take short, but they had all 5 members towards mid this time. And challenged the mid, took the frags, and kind of took Dignitas off guard, making a B push that quickly when they had the info of Virtus actually being out long.
As Terry Tate would say, mind games.
Yes.
Office linebacker. On board with Snacks. Dignitas are going to go up against that AWP. Fetish is the man who'll get picked off. They're trying to get that AWP out of trouble, and as Dignitas come to chase him, it's Device that'll lose his life. And there are 4 men about to make the push in long A, and they will meet another set of Danes who are escaping out there, and Neo will be the man who sounds the alarm. Now Taz waits for someone pushing up mid, and it's AZ who he will collect. Zipnix and then AWP for Dignitas are already thinking about whether they can save it as he jumps past Spawn. He's worried about Taz, and the bomb will go down on A, and Zipnix will save that AWP and get out of there.
Dignitas is having really a lot of trouble with long. They don't really want to challenge it, and when they do, Virtus have the exact right amount of numbers to actually take them on. And yeah, they need to figure something out. Either maybe take a push mid, try to challenge, kind of let long go from the beginning instead of actually having to let it go after trying to take it.
Virtus.pro had a lot of joy on that A site. They did plant the bomb down once on B, and that was when they faked long A. And this time you'll see Dignitas push 2 players going for a stack on the double doors there, and 1 over towards the B site. But again, long A is the push, and this time they've extended all the way down there looking for any information. And they have Pasha trading with Dupree as VP go lose their man. But Snacks and AWP are going to see some action here as it's Device in on the B site. Bomb in that double doors, and you can see that man still long A for Dignitas has actually pushed in there once to see whether there was anyone there. That's Snacks up on the catwalk, hasn't spied the man in the site, but will keep retracting back to that point and now knows exactly that he's going to have to try and find, I think it is Zipnix on that side.
A rotation is coming. Zipnix has been along for a long while, and he knows them. They are there.
And here we go. Reinforcements come for Zipnix, but Snacks has dispatched of Fetis. Zipnix still waiting for anyone to come down long A. It hasn't happened for them. Taz has got 80, and Zipnix has done a great job of staying alive and watching all of his beloved teammates die by the wayside. And the last one will be Device, and that is going to be Virtus.pro with their 4th round. Lost the pistol and allowed Dignitas were able to convert it, but since then, 4 straight T-sided rounds for the Poles.
Yeah, Dignitas needs to figure something out. At this moment, they're just kind of playing with them. But Dignitas never get the info they need. As Dignitas on the Eco already got 2 kills on long.
These CZ rounds, you just never know what's going to happen in them.
It's probably one of the hardest rounds to actually play, because you don't want to take risks, and it makes your duels uncomfortable, and you don't want to die.
Zipnix is going to push out, searching for that AWP, and it's Snacks who's got it. Still have that man advantage, but Pasha has a big role to play here. Coming in through spawn, gets himself the first kill. Dupree goes down, and that'll put the cat amongst the pigeons as Snacks goes in. But what's waiting for Snacks? It's a Device that's there right in the face, and Pasha's going to have to go for a... Well, it would be an ace if he got it, because he's already on 3. He comes down looking for Device. There's 50 seconds left. Gets the 4th. Will he get the 5th? He smells blood. And the bomb is down on top of that man as well. Pasha 31, Zipnix 89. You've got to assume Zipnix will close this one out, but this would be one hell of an ace from Pasha, a round that he would save for Virtus.pro as he nades in and tries to flush out Zipnix, who's now down to just 41 points of health. Pasha pushes in. Oh, Zipnix stops him. And Dignitas pick up the round. It is 4-4.
And yeah, as I said, the C said, it's kind of like an AK. It's like a weapon round. The first bullets, if you push out, they're now blind and just have those 3-4 bullets into your head, you die really quickly. It's actually almost better than having a gun at that point.
Now, the one team that are really good against CZ rounds is Dignitas.
Yes,
they will
they're
play very
safe.
passively and wait.
Yes, very, very good anti-ecos. They almost never lose more than 2 men on an anti-eco, which is reasonable. As long as you don't lose the rounds, it's good enough.
Bolt shot through the wall. Pasha loses 80 points of health. He, a little bit peeved about that.
As we're just kind of deciding what to do. They have control of a short, which is one of the most important spots to have control ST on the map.
3 in the B tunnels, including the bomb carrier.
I wonder what role Snacks will have in this, if they're waiting for him to do something with that smoke.
Easy does it as Virtus.pro ready now to execute their push in towards the B site. Flash blinds Neo as he is ready to move in now. He'll go up against Dupree, makes the jump up and loses his head. Dupree will go through. Device will help. Snacks does down Easy, but has got next to no HP and he knows exactly where he is. And Snacks coming through from spawn, gets Zipnix before Dupree comes in and helps him. It's Bjarli or bust. And it'll go 5-4 Dignitas.
It's actually a really good idea from Virtus. They had Bjarli flashing out long, Snacks throwing a smoke on B, on A short, and they actually got the rotation to, so they were 3 on A, and only 2 men on B, but the solid B players actually just killed them when they made the push. But I think the call was correct from Virtus.
5-4. Dignitas won 2 in a row now. As this playbook from Virtus.pro has many a page, it would appear.
Yes, people think they're very just aggressive and just want to take duels and peaks, but they're very tactical in a very aggressive and unique way. There's really no team like them.
Probably have more hours in CS than anyone in the game right now, cumulatively over the various versions. And
Yes.
will make the move in. Will be Neo going forward as they try to make the grab on long A. Going to be Zipnix and Device picking themselves up frags, and Virtus.pro falling like flies through the flashes, and on the other side leaves just Pasha and his AWP as he has he walks out at the wrong moment and Fetish drops him down, and that'll be that. 6-4 the score, Dignitas. And we and mentioned there the experience of this VP side. What does it actually play? You know, we say experience as if you know, we were talking about, you know, a footballer who had played forever and ever. What does the experience lend in CS? What have you learned as you played more and more?
It's probably more about the controlling your emotions during the game and being able to refocus much more quickly than and try to talk calmly in the game helps a lot, especially with Taz and Neo and Pasha playing with these young players, Snacks and Bjarli. I think that has a great effect on them. Experience is not only about for yourself. It can also give other players a lot more, like a calmer aura around them.
So it's not very, you know. Well, we'll come back to this point at the end of this as action's about to kick off on the double doors here as Dupree is about to walk into a Virtus.pro firing squad, but he gets away losing only 28 points of health, and we'll next see Pasha, who misses his narrow opportunity.
And watching the EMS VODs and, you know, with the team speak on, Virtus was one of those teams who talk really calm, almost emotionless.
It's going to be Zipnix who gets himself the frag onto Snacks. Dupree follows suit. Neo, the only one to get himself a kill for Virtus.pro in that mud bath there as Neo and Pasha move in. Taz down, and they may just get the bomb in, but that is going to be a tall order. 2-on-2, 30 points of health between them against 2 fully health Dignitas players. Bomb planted. Device feeling confident to go in as he tries to wall bang in. And he has, coming from the B tunnels, Fetish to help him out. And these two Dignitas stalwarts are ready to make their move as Neo spies danger. In a perfect position to not be seen, but now will get downed as he and Pasha will go down to the hands of Fetish and the defuse comes in. That'll be 3 rounds in a row for Dignitas. And let's quickly revisit that that point of experience. Yeah, when you're playing for FNATIC, no one's ever saying on comms, remember what we did in the DreamHack final where we won a lot of money. It's more about just being, mentally not letting small things blip you because you're feeling confidence of the togetherness of the team. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think Virtus is one of those teams. They talk so calmly. They don't get overly excited. They're really, really focused on the task they have. They'll just talk calmly, like, I'm flashing, 1 A side, 1 long, 1 there. Very calmly, and it gives that aura for everyone in the team that is very, very positive.
Zipnix collects the opening frag onto Taz as the A push is slowed by the nades, and it's going to be a bit of a firing squad there for them. As now Zipnix collects his 3rd frag of the round. Great play from him. Sorry, 2 frags of the round for him. As Device gets another 2 on his other side, and Dignitas looking really good on this CT side now. It'll go to 8-4 as they
5 in a row.
4 in a row.
4 in a row.
But yes.
Yes. Okay. I thought they won the pistol and Virtus took 4 in a row. I might be wrong. You might be right. We'll leave it at that. You might be wrong, you might be right. Yes. 50-50. But anyways, Dignitas kind of figured Virtus out, and I would like to see them go back to that kind of strong long take, kind of force Dignitas to the short, and kind of wait them out, and kind of knowing where the CT players are, instead of pushing short against an AWP and against the player's side. And Dignitas is so good at surviving for long, and Virtus can't really find those kills.
Taz knew AZ was there and was trying to line up the shot for just too much time. Neo will come in and avenge the death of his beloved, but in towards the B site, the push comes from Virtus.pro as Neo will wait on reinforcements coming through the double doors in the shape of Zipnix on the opposite side. He is heavily flashed but has reinforcements to his left, and Dignitas will try to get that bomb down, but Zipnix will do something about it with a frag onto Bialy. And look how quickly Dignitas were over towards that B site to stop anything happening. 3 on 4 though. Snack's ready to cover the rear as Fetish is the man who's about to deliver damage there. Pasha will come in and get 1, but Dignitas have done the damage, and that'll be another round for them, and it'll be 9-4.
Yeah, really well played from Dignitas. They waited for the guy coming dark, flashed in, let him take the peek, and then everyone else pushes in at the same time. That's textbooks retakes on B side. Without that guy dark, it's really hard just coming from the doors and window. That was a good play from Dignitas, and Virtus actually never even got the plant.
Despite having the site for probably 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Fetish comes in, gets himself 2, and Virtus.pro being mowed down here on A long. And it will be Taz and Pasha, the last 2 standing, as Fetish actually has himself a hat-trick. Dignitas looking super strong at this moment in time, and will be looking to close out this map with some aplomb here. As Pasha does stop Fetish with a headshot there, but still a tall order for Virtus.pro in this round. Taz makes it a slightly shorter order. And AZ is down, and we're on a 2-on-3. But that AWP of Dupree comes from afar. And Pasha gets himself 1 more. He's now going to make his jump outside. Gets another one with a great headshot there. Collects the bomb. And now it's Pasha versus Dupree with 37 seconds left to go. Dupree waiting with the AWP in mid, though, as Pasha prepares to come around the corner. And Dupree looking up towards T-Spawn, expecting to see Pasha running over towards that B site. And that is not quite where Dupree was, but he does come into his sight once again. 20 seconds remain. As Pasha makes the move over towards that A site, he'll look to cut him off. As he's got a choice. Does he either jump down and take the fight, or does he put the bomb in? He's got 10 seconds now. He's really beginning to run out of time. Puts that bomb down. Now Dupree, though, picks him out. And
Pasha sits on the corner.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
Bomb's planted and Dupree is gone because the clock ran out?
No. He's going to pick up his AWP, I think. Couldn't find it, though. But yeah, that was actually really well played from Virtus. They had a 2-on-5, they lost 3 guys on long, and Pasha and Taz actually made that into a winnable round, which shouldn't really happen at that point in time. With the bomb dropped at a very weird position for Pasha, and Taz lurking around the map. Really, really good play from Virtus. But this time, Dignitas came on top with the clutching that time.
Virtus gets himself the kill there as we're in the last round of the half. Pasha will be fuming. He'll have felt like he's done so much work to get that into a savable position. But what's been interesting in kind of the first quarter versus the second quarter of this map is that in the opening 7 rounds, Virtus.pro looked so controlled. Whether they were winning or losing the map, their plays offered them so much control.
Yeah.
And that control now looks to have gone into just a little bit. Now it just looks like mindless aggression rather than textbook play.
Yes, it does. I think Virtus is much better when they have all of the nades, the flashes, the smokes, to actually and make something early, make something happen early. Like when they did in the beginning, they kind of forced Dignitas to take short, even though Dignitas, they thought they were long, but they just went out for a B split after that. And they need some kind of mind games to set Dignitas rotation into a weird spiral. And right now they have just been pushing towards the side without that fake play.
We're left with just 2 players up for Virtus.pro in this, the last round of the half. And this Dignitas' map, and they are playing like they mean it. Bjarli's still going here. He's got a 1-on-2 to try and save this game, or save this round, but it doesn't happen for them. And Dignitas pick themselves up an 11-round CT side here on Dust, and really offering little to no chance for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, this should be a Dignitas map. Seeing how the T side is actually stronger on this map. It's a 10-5 map to T, and picking up 11 rounds. Did they win the pistol? Yeah, Dignitas won the pistol, but still very, very impressive play as CT. But that's where we know Dignitas to be strong, so they might struggle on the T side with an aggressive Virtus.pro.
Take something special from Virtus.pro. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we return, we'll bring you... We're not going to take a very quick break, because they're about to start the game. So just keeping you on the edge of your toes there. Remember, if you sign up to FACEIT.com today, you will be entered into a prize to win some Logitech goodies, who are sponsoring the finals here this weekend. So do give that a shot. And Devil, what your thoughts thus far as we're about to get this underway? We'll take something special from VP.
Yeah, they need to win this pistol. They really, really need that. I mean, the rounds has been close, but Dignitas kind of had the control over the rounds. It's always been Virtus trying to get things back, get the kills back, losing free entries and stuff like that. So try to take control from the beginning instead of losing those entries.
Device gets himself 2 big frags for Dignitas, and VP haven't won a pistol in this entire match thus far. And at the moment, it's going to take a big play to get themselves there first. And 3 frags to 1 down in this, with just Pasha and Bjarli to hold on. And dupreeh doesn't want them to. Great hit finish off there from dupreeh, and Dignitas will claim the pistol now. And they will be, assuming a successful conversion, they'll be staring down the barrel of victory on map 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. Virtus playing on a CT side, getting over 12 rounds without a pistol, it's not looking likely.
No.
Yeah, if Dignitas can get those anti-eco rounds, which they seem to be very, very good at, as we've seen on the other maps. Yeah, this is painful to watch Virtus.
And then we will go on to Mirage as the decider, and that'll be a great one. That's a fitting end to this game, because both teams very strong on Mirage.
I think Virtus is known to be one of the strongest Mirage teams in the world, and Dignitas really likes to play it. They play it a lot in almost any best of 3 they have Mirage in.
Yeah, I think I've seen them win Mirage twice in this tournament already, Dignitas. But here we go, push coming in as Dignitas get themselves a couple of frags. Neo, the only one trying to stop them, and he's going to be drowned by Device's AK, and that'll be Another round the way of the Danes. They are 13-4, and we're going to see
a bye, it seems like. A second round bye from a third round bye.
from Taz. Maybe they'll leave him up in B. Yeah, he's going to go into
Only him buying. This is weird. Taz is the only one who bought. This might be some miscommunication from Virtus, seeing how they went full eco the last one.
Device dispatches of the only man who bought. And Device is looking for one more, and it'll be Pasha that goes down. He had the smallest of areas to hit, and you better believe he hit it. So we are waiting on almost the inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, you see how much control they take. You see how little openings Virtus actually has to kill people. Dignitas just playing textbook anti-ecos, and there's nothing really Virtus can do at this point. They just need to win that gun round and kind of get that flow, but it seems really, really unlikely at this point.
So Neo 1 versus 5 with 19 points of health. I think he's going to do it.
Think so? Is this the
Not
magic
really.
Neo?
Not really. And Zipnix makes sure that he does, and a clean win there from Dignitas. And Virtus.pro, this is Device's shot here. Look at that. Boop.
People are going to stand there on matchmaking now.
And now there will be a buy, and I think you're quite right that whatever Taz did last round was not intended.
But this is hard. They have almost no rounds to play. With Neo picks up the entry on B.
And all suddenly the VP players will come over there, and Taz shows he doesn't necessarily need an M4 as he gets himself a headshot with his P250. We've got 2 frags to the good. AZ and Device down to 9 and 27 points of health respectively. Taz deep in the site with his AK and ready to wait for reinforcements as they do come in. But Dignitas are going to quickly move that bomb through T-spawn and over towards the A site where reinforcements are there as well. Fetish waiting for anyone coming up tunnels, but that's not going to happen either. And this should be around for VP, but Device is going to charge this one as fast as his Danish legs will take him over towards that long A area. And who will be waiting for him? It's Fetish, as he makes the move, is going to start making noise over on B. Through long A will come Device on the other side. Fetish now goes down towards mid. And Device is going to lead that next push here. And it's Pasha who's waiting for him there. Fetish flashed and pushed back, and on the other side the action comes in as Device makes the push and waits and waits and waits and wins as Snacks goes down. And it'll be Device who will now try to make the crossover. Tosses the bomb over, waiting for Device to, waiting for Fetish to go and collect it. And it'll be a 2-on-3. Nice work here from Dignitas. They're going to get a plant, and they may well get themselves a little bit more. Frag coming in from Device. He'll now then get downed by the reinforcements coming, but Fetish is still going here. 1-on-1. Fetish misses the next shot, but doesn't need the AWP to finish off Taz, and that will take them to match play. Great afterplay there. They lost the first 3 frags so quickly, but it was far from all she wrote at that point.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that Virtus still stayed 3 people at B for so long, knowing that they didn't have the bomb. And, you know, Fetish was in dark, but they never really pushed him into that corner. They just kind of held mid and held B. So they kind of, yeah, Snacks alone on A. It was kind of a gamble from Virtus. Felt like they didn't need to.
And now VP have bought what they can. The scout power from Pasha may not be enough. They do a bit of damage and they get themselves a kill, but in the end Fetish will stop all of the fun. The toss over there from Device to Fetish, though, was perfect, because with, I assume they didn't have vision, which meant that they thought that he had gone up to the site and planted himself, and thus they went in focusing only on the bomb site and not the shots coming from long A.
That's actually true. Knowing Fetish didn't have the bomb as they spotted him mid, they thought maybe 2 people came from short, and Pasha just jumping, trying to get the planter, and got backstabbed from Device on long.
There is that scout power from Neo, but with a bomb plant and a 3-man after plant. Virtus.pro are going to try to recover this. Slipnix has been picked off. Fetish and the AWP are going to have a big part to play here, and they will be stopped. And Dignitas' party will be momentarily suspended, as it'll go to 15-5 in favor of the Danes, who have a 10-round advantage.
Yeah, it was really important. I don't really know what happened there. I think they had a couple of shotguns and just jumped and killed them in the side, while they got Fetish in a lone afterplant, 4 versus 1. They killed everyone on site before Fetish could even help them. And yeah, jumping shotguns for the win.
This would be a hell of a comeback. 11 rounds. Part of me wants to just go to overtime to say I've seen an 11-round comeback from VP. But don't think that's going to happen. Dignitas are so strong here on their Dust performance thus far. But Snacks will make us believe with a headshot onto device. Hazy joins Dupree in at the double doors.
And they have long Dignitas actually, so they know people are up short. They know they must be on A side. And let's see if they try to take short and kind of mash them in. But Virtus still have the smokes, still have the nades to block them off. So Dignitas is kind of in a waiting state.
Snacks waits and will get himself picked out by Dupree there. And interesting play there from Snacks. I'll ask you for your thoughts on that in a second, but Dupree is a man on a mission. He wants this map over with, and his 4 frags do exactly that, as it's only Neo left standing. Dupree down, no ace for him, but the bomb plant, this time it will be all she wrote for Virtus.pro here on Dust 2. And Dignitas lead by 16 rounds to 5, taking us to a 1-map all situation. Your thoughts on the closing of that round?
I mean, they took over long. They kind of forced them to short. They know they were short. They ran out of nades to actually stop the short push, and they just flashed in and got the kills and kind of mashed them into their site, while the rotation had to come from spawn.
And as a map as a whole, you excited for Mirage?
Yes, I am. Virtus is actually really defensive on CT side Mirage. They have kind of let Pasha rule around mid, and I'm very interested to see this, because Virtus is really hard to play on Mirage from my own experience. You need to get 1 or 2 picks to actually enter a site, because they have such a stable anti-flash setups, and Dignitas is really keen on actually making those A plays instantly, and yeah, Virtus has really good defense on sites.
Well, let's get to the action. We're going to go over to the analyst desk, and let's see what James and Dan saw in that map of Dust 2.
Thanks so much, Stuart. I think, James, you want to kick it off, right?
Yeah, sure. So once again, we saw Dignitas taking another pistol round. Interestingly enough, we saw they took the knife round as well, but they chose to stay on CT side, which is quite interesting, something we can maybe talk about later. In the recent matches we've seen of Dust 2, we've seen a lot of people picking the CT side first over the T side. And obviously, it seems Dignitas may have a good style matchup versus Virtus.pro, which favors them picking the CT side here. We saw a full armor buy after losing the pistol round from Virtus.pro. They did manage to get a plant in the second round, but didn't get anything going just yet. Went 3-0 up for Dignitas, and then we saw Virtus.pro go for... They had a long pick with Pasha. He had a good spawn to go A long. Got a quick pick with the AWP. Then we saw Dignitas try and... flank him while he was running away, but Nia was waiting just around the corner, and they had, it was 5-on-3 very, very early on. So it was a good start from Virtus.pro. Then it was 3-1 and it was 3-2. Then VP basically just savaged long the next round. Absolutely savaged it, and it caused a lot of carnage. Pushed up long and quickly took the bomb site, and they went up 4 rounds, and then that was about it for Virtus.pro. They didn't. It was 4-4. Eventually, and Dignitas scored an eco round, and then it pretty much all changed from there.
Yeah, one of the really interesting things that I saw, which it was I mean, on Dust 2, there tend to be a lot of different setups that different teams will like to play, and the double AWP setup is something that's quite common, but the problem is with it is it's very volatile, and it's something that usually Virtus.pro are very good at dealing with, not only because they have such great AWPers, but because their aggression is so explosive, and their grenades are so spot on that they can really isolate and just completely exploit the lack of mobility that you have with two AWPers. And we saw on, I think it was the buy round, their first buy round, Fetish missed a key shot when they were going for a long push, and they just kind of crushed that setup. And the problem with that is that if you're playing just one AWP and not two AWPs, that's an extra M4 drop. Your economy situation, it gives you more room to work with, more mobility. So I like how they actually they kind of gave up on the double AWP setup, and they went to a more aggressive, reactive style with much more mobility, and they were sticking two men on long with M4s. And I don't know if this was a read that they had on Virtus.pro, but we did see Virtus.pro running into long quite a lot. The other thing I noticed, which was really, really great, and really shows the experience of Dignitas, is that Virtus.pro were playing a very interesting style, and it almost caught Dignitas a couple of times, but they seemed a bit too smart. And the way this style worked on some of their rounds was that they were kind of tossing a lot of grenades, using half of their grenades when they were pushed up mid, pushed up short a little bit, to try to kind of bait out some rotations from Dignitas. And usually what happens is you feel kind of blind on the CT side, and so you need to try and go for information. And this is where Virtus.pro then exploit you. They then catch you on that rotation because they had their positions are basically spot on to deal with that. And we saw only once did it really almost happen. Neo was poking into mid with about 3 people facing him. He actually managed to get out of there alive. But generally speaking, Virtus.pro weren't really able to get many of the picks that they actually wanted to. So Dignitas were working really patiently, and you can really see why they're one of the best CT sides in the game. They just control things very, very well. So definitely it was all about Dignitas's CT side. Virtus.pro not able to get the long plays that they wanted, and it's great to see Dignitas bouncing back after such a hot performance on map number 1 on season from Virtus.pro. And now we're going to move into Mirage. Any last thoughts on Dust 2?
Yeah, just one small thing I wanted to point out was something that Dupree did. He was on CT, he was in kind of CT spawn when Virtus.pro were pushing short, and Dignitas had 2 guys on site, and basically Dupree was standing here, and rather than come up here and try and face the guys on short, he was just sitting here with flashbangs, and he was bouncing them off this box here. So he would flash the Virtus.pro team while his teammates could still peek because they were blocked by the boxes on site. And that was a little thing, but I thought it was quite important and a nice touch to some site defense from Dignitas. So we are moving towards Mirage soon, and again, it's going to be, we've seen what Virtus.pro are capable of, but then we've seen what they're capable of in the past on Dust 2 as well. And Dignitas aren't really allowing them to kind of get away with what they normally do. So how this match goes is going to be interesting. We saw how Virtus.pro played against Titan and how they played against what they were expected to do. We saw a lot more aggression from them against Dignitas, and we'll see if that continues through to the next map.
Yeah, I really feel like Dignitas might be one of the hardest teams that they have to face at the moment, because I don't think Virtus.pro have quite the read on them as they have on some of the other teams we've seen them face up against. Yeah. So very curious to see what happens on Mirage. So guys, that's the next map. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this break.